is profitability? Is it in the room with us right now? Nintendo, I will literally give you $70 cash money right now for red, blue, yellow, gold, silver. Cash money. No. No. My emotions. My emotions.
愚蠢的美国人和约
John Cena.
没错，先生，因为这个视频是给美国人看的，我们想说什么就说什么，字幕会坏的。
This one doesn't work. And this one doesn't work. But no one is seeing your film on the big screen. But people are seeing movie theaters. They're driving past them every day to go to McDonald's. The Shamrock Shake is back. Yes! Yes! Pre-order now! This is how it feels to watch Disney Plus. Let's go! We're back here. Hello, everybody. I am the real-life fake wizard. And today is a very special type of wizard crash-out stream because you see the title says Wizard versus Everyone. And we're going to do that just now. We're going to fight the world right now. All right, this is a street fight with the world. I am ready. I hope you are all ready. I am the real life fake wizard here on the Real Life Fake Wizard channel. We have a lot to talk about today because the world has just been ridiculous with news. Many of you will notice that I'm wearing a different hat. Okay, I'm a man of many hats. Also, I'm traveling. I'm in the middle of traveling. And so sometimes I change my hats to indicate that I am not at Wizard HQ. Also, lighting. Some of you may not know, but getting the lighting correct on a wizard hat when you're streaming is very, very difficult. And today, the lighting is really hard to work with. So I am wearing a Godzilla or Mechagodzilla hat today, and mostly because it fits my head proper. I have a very large cranium, so finding hats that fit my head is challenging. But we are here. How is everybody doing? I hope you are all having a wonderful, wonderful weekend. It is still Sunday here. And we do have a lot to get into, a lot of topics to discuss today. We had a real banger of a video go out this week discussing, oh gosh, what was it? It was discussing, not the one that's coming up, but I have the next one on my head. I'm looking forward to talking about. What was the last one called? Everyone is sick of the video games industry. Yeah, that was a really good one. That was a good one. And we got some incredible interviews from people. It was really awesome. And I really appreciate the amount of the commentary that I'm hearing back from everybody. You guys, if you guys like the videos, I know you guys respond in the comments, but I'm really going to ask, especially since we are putting a lot of effort into doing these interview style, boots on the ground event videos. Please let us know what you think. Let us know if you want us to continue that, because even right now, we're still planning on attending a couple of events just in the coming weeks, the coming weekends. Even the video that'll be coming out later this week is actually really special. It's actually really special. I want to share. I got to find, where's the link here? Did I lose my link? I might have lost my link. No, I want to show you guys where I was. Let me pull this up. Remember, this is the most professional stream on the planet. I was invited to and attended the Long Island Retro Gaming Expo 2025. We were there on Friday. And you guys, this one is really exciting. I want to preface this. I'm back in New York for a little bit of time. And there was an instance where we were looking it up and seeing like, hey, well, where's the next? Is there an event nearby that we can go to so we can do more videos and go in and talk with people? And so we found this one, and it wasn't even like Google. Grok found this event. Like I typed into Grok just as like as a joke, like, hey, find me events that are nearby where I'm going to be this weekend. And this one came up. I looked into it. I reached out to them. I'm like, hey, can I do a video there? Would you guys let me come by? And they got back to me within like an hour. Oh, we got the most professional stream going on here. Look at that, Wizard. Camera crash. That's embarrassing, isn't it? That's embarrassing. Look at that. Camera crash. Ridiculous. Let's get this thing back on. Come on. Come on now. Reconnect. You see what I mean? The most professional stream on the planet. I don't know if it's going to come back on. Let's see. This is why I need a producer. Oh my gosh. Let's see. I'm getting a spinny ball of death. I'm getting the spinny ball of death. Oh boy. That's embarrassing, isn't it? A streamer lesser than me would really care right now. Yeah, where's Clippy when you need him? Oh man. Come on now. Let's see. One more time. Otherwise, I will do the whole stream with no camera connected. I can't believe this is Canon, everybody. This is Canon. Canon doing its best right now. Let's see if I cancel that and I open up the webcam utility. I mean, it's going to get a little awkward not seeing my face, but I will talk the entire time. I will absolutely talk the entire time. I guess we have no, I can't believe this. This is insane. You spend all these thousands of dollars on camera tech and it just poof, drops out on you midstream. Okay, so it comes on, it connects to the computer, Canon EOS R7, right? Okay, now I try to open up the webcam utility. And we're getting, come on now. No, we're getting nothing. How embarrassing. I mean, not really. I don't really care because I could just talk the entire time. Wow. I can't believe this. What a pile of absolute shit these cameras are. What a pile of absolute colossal dog shit. Okay, while we're here, this is a really great time for me to point out, for those of you out there that are interested in cameras and camera like technology, never buy Canon. Okay, I have been working in camera tech and video tech for a long time, and I just want to be absolutely clear. If I could switch away from Canon, I would. I would switch to Sony if I could. But I've spent so much money on camera tech for Canon that it doesn't make financial sense to switch to Sony. But if I could, I would absolutely switch to Sony cameras. Let's see. What is I'm going to change my name here because we're going to keep the stream going. It's just going to be a little talking picture of me for the rest of the stream because this piece of shit don't want to work. I can believe it. I can believe it because, sometimes God laughs. This is insane. It was just working. You guys saw I was here and it is not coming back. As much as I reset it, it's just not coming back. Fascinating. All right. Camera, too handsome for camera today. Yes, that's what we're gonna say. I got a little caption there. Have you tried turning it off and on again? About 6 or 7 times now. But that's okay. We're just gonna keep this going. I'll talk through this one today. This is great. Collective Shout must have hacked into your camera feed. We are going to talk about Collective Shout. That is on the lineup for today. We are absolutely going to talk about that. I swear we actually, look, what is this stream called, you guys? It's called Wizard versus Everyone. And so far, the everyone is winning. Okay, they try to hold us down. They hit us with bad tech problems. They hit us with power surges. They try to punch us and keep us down, but they can't keep us down, folks. We're just gonna keep swinging. We're just gonna keep getting up from the mat, even without a camera today. Okay. So what we're gonna do against the tide, could you invite someone on for a minute so it will stay going? Then you could maybe exit out of it completely and it doesn't totally end the stream. So it's not StreamYard. Funny enough, it is genuinely my camera. It is 100% genuinely the $2,000 camera that I have. But because I'm I'm traveling again, and I wish I wasn't, but I am on the road, and so that means, well, thankfully, it means I get to attend amazing events like this. So let me finish talking about this because I really, really want to hype this up, guys. The Long Island Retro Gaming Expo here that we attended on Friday, guys. Look, it is 1:00 on Sunday. Today is the last day for this event. If you are close enough to get there, go to this event. Seriously, turn off this stream. If you are in Long Island, okay? If you are in New York City and you happen to be listening to this right now and you're a gamer, turn this stream off, get your shoes on, and go. This event blew my socks off. And I'm not saying that, I'm not being hyperbolic. This is guys, I walked into this event, I thought we were going to do one type of video. And we actually had to step out. We had to go back to the car and get in the car and just sit and process for a moment. Okay, the entire video that we prepped for coming here, we have to throw away and make a new one. Guys, the Long Island Retro Gaming Expo is held in a museum. Okay, so you'll see here, it's a Cradle of Aviation, Garden City. That's a museum, and they built a video game museum into the aviation museum. This isn't just like a swap meet. This isn't just a Comic-Con. It wasn't just like a cosplay thing. It's a retro museum for gaming. And I really wish my camera was on so you could see like the animated face I have right now, because like I could see it. They had the Pokemon mystery gifts from Japan refurbished and reconstituted and working. They were running an authentic Mew mystery gift event. They had the developer toolkits for the PlayStation 2. They had classic original artwork from the 80s and 90s that went into classic gaming magazines. They had, not for sale, but on display. Like, you could play all of this stuff there. Every 3 feet you walked was a CRT station set up for you to play old games. Every 3 feet. There was another CRT with classic setups there. They had the Game Boy dev kits on display there. They had, it was video gaming come to life. And I am so not only thankful that they invited me to come out, but ecstatic that this exists, that there are people here. They have my absolute tremendous respect. I don't even know the whole team yet. I hope to know them all very well in the near future. But the fact that the organization here drops massive loads of cash all over the world to acquire old games, to acquire old hardware, and then fix it up with the effort of media preservation. I did interview one of the top dogs there. Guys, the video that we have coming out is going to be a deep dive on video game preservation and media preservation. It's going to be much more like a documentary. And there's a lot of research that I have to do going into it. So I don't know when this video is going to be up and running, but I really just wanted to start off this stream by saying, we do videos. We talk about things, and sometimes it may seem like you're on your own. Like sometimes I do these videos and I talk about these things, and hey, we want things to be better. Like we want things to be better. We want things to be better. And it always feels like sometimes we're on our own on these topics. Guys, seeing this come to life in action, especially for someone like me that cares a lot about media preservation, it is happening. Like there are people out there who are living that life, who are pursuing these things. It is the absolute white pilling of white pill events. There is never a reason to black pill, because there's always, you find like those little strands of hope in the unlikeliest of places. When we were pulling into the parking lot for this, we were saying, I don't know what we're walking into. This could just be a giant swap meet. We may not even be able to make a video on this at all. Like we might be here and we'll get what we can, because we had no idea. Because like the one thing I will say is, guys, your marketing sucks. Guys, I'm so sorry. Long Island Retro Gaming Expo, your marketing sucks. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way, and I'm not trying to like hold that against you. You guys have so much more than your advertising. Please, for the love of God, crank up your marketing for next year, because what you have is outstanding and the world deserves to see it. And I don't say that lightly. When I walked in and I was there with my brother, says, wait, look, they have a whole section over there on Pokemon. Just imagine you're walking through an air and space museum. So there's all the planes on the floor. Like all of the planes are all walking around. Like you're walking around in the museum, and they've sectioned off throughout this museum where it's the video game stuff in the museum. It's incredible. And we look over and, oh my gosh, they have they have an entire GameCube thing set up with the Pokemon Coliseum mystery gift. They have an entire station set up for the authentic Mew mystery gift from Japan that they salvaged, repaired, and it is completely authentic. Like the world deserves to see this stuff. I was seeing things in real time that were relegated to myth on Reddit threads. And this stuff was real and tangible, and I'm staring at it. And I was blown away with that. So, yes, awesome. If you still have time, if you're close by, if you're in, it was like a 2.5 hour drive for us. So we were not able to go back out again, but we very much want to, and I would very much love to go back again next year. This is an incredible event. I can't wait. I can't wait to sit down and start working on this video, because it's incredible. This is awesome. You guys rock. Long Island Retro Gaming Expo. You guys kick ass. This is fantastic. I had to open up the show talking about this, because what we're about to get into next is not so nice. Okay, we do have a lot of things to talk about that are not so nice. And while we're in between, I am going to, I know we do have some super chats I want to read. There are some comments here from you guys that I definitely want to read. I also want to see if I can get this camera working again. Let me see. Does this camera want to work now? No. It's not like it's overheating. I just turned it on right before we went on stream. Whatever. How unfortunate. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put, instead of, because I like the little talking head, but I also like, oh, well, it looks like it's working. Let's, here we go. Can we do this? Start virtual camera. Am I back, baby? I'm back, baby. Okay, well, now I have to change my title, because I'm no longer too handsome for camera today. Fakeportal.com is our caption on the bottom there. Yes, okay, we're back. Apparently, I had to do that off camera because the powers that be said no. But we are still here. EJI coming in with a 20 MX. Wizard, what would Nintendo have to do to win you back? That is a fantastic question. I love that question. And I think I would be happy with them dropping the prices, dropping the price down to $70. personally. Like, that's all it would really take. If they dropped, and they won't do this, so they won't win me back. Here's what I think is going to happen. So I'll tell you what I think is going to happen, but also what I would like to happen. I want for them to say Mario Kart World is now $70 moving forward. That won't happen. That'll never happen. And here's why. If they were to do that, it would delegitimize all the people that spent $80 on it, and those people would be upset. Those people would feel betrayed. They would try to get their money back in some way. Like, they would try to complain. It would become an issue. I believe that there are some rules against that. There are some laws against that, though I'm no lawyer. I'm just a fake wizard that's not wearing a wizard hat today. Nintendo could not do what I want them to do. So here's what I think they are going to do, though. I will say this. I personally believe we are not going to see any more Nintendo games at $80. I don't think it's going to happen. And I could be wrong. But I think what we're going to see is they just keep releasing games at $70. And Mario Kart is the only game that stays at $80. The reason I think that is because people are really unhappy. People are really, 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 really unhappy. And the work that we're doing is working. Like, that's something that needs to be discussed. Talking about it, like, the discussions that we're having are so important. We need to keep having them because people are normal people, super fans of Nintendo, detractors of Nintendo, normies. Everyone is saying $80 for video games is too much, and that's really stupid. Everybody is. And so because everybody is, and there is a lot of people that aren't buying the $80 games, Outer Worlds 2 dropping the price to $70 was a massive red flag that something's going on. There is trouble in paradise, and if there's trouble in paradise for one, then that means there's trouble in paradise for Nintendo too. If Microsoft isn't working with the $80, then there's a very strong possibility Nintendo is not working with the $80 too. Mario Kart might be selling, but now they're probably realizing Metroid's not going to sell at 80. Pokemon will, but it's not 80. Notice it's only $70. A Pokemon game? Pokemon's bigger than Mario Kart, mind you. Pokemon is larger than Mario Kart. I don't give a damn what anybody else says. It is. Pikachu is more well-known than Mickey Mouse right now, okay? And the fact that that's 70 when they could very easily charge 80, that's pretty telling too. That's pretty telling. So what would Nintendo have to do? They'd have to roll back the $80 thing. But instead, what I think they're going to do is they're just not going to, they're never going to talk about it again. They're never going to bring it up. They're never going to talk about it again. They're just going to not charge $80 for any new games. Would that make me happy? No. I'm done. I'm cool being done. I don't need to go back. But this is a good question, and it's worth discussing. I am done. I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care. I will play other games. I'm not trying to plug Fake Portal here, but having spent, like, I've been spending so much time working on the Fake Portal project, like going through all of the games that you people have been recommending to me, like, holy crap. There are incredible games out there that we never knew existed, that I never knew existed until I started this project. That, like, all I care about is getting Fake Portal done so that you guys can find these new games, and then I can start playing these new games on stream with you. That's what I want to do. Like, that's all I care about. I'm done with Nintendo. Like, I don't need Nintendo anymore. I'll be just fine. Jaded Juror 14, member for 1 month, says most professional stream. Yes. And we are off to the most professional-ist today for sure. Thank you for that. Matthew for a 5 says, do you go to the Sycamore area for Comic-Cons and retro game cons? I ask because I live around that area. Would love to hang sometime. Or Syracuse. Jesus, I said Sycamore. Syracuse. I would go anywhere. I would go anywhere if we could get there in time. I know right now we're trying to figure out the logistics of the potentially going to Salt Lake City for a Fan X at the end of September. I will be back in Texas later this week. We're doing some events out there, although I don't have those confirmed just yet. We're trying to do Colossal Con in Round Rock, Texas. That's this upcoming weekend. And we're trying to do Nostalgia Con, which is the weekend after that. And then there's a gap in there where I'll be in Universal. I'm taking the family. I'm taking my parents, and we're going to Epic Universe at the top of September. And then after that, I don't know. But we're trying to do. Let me put it this way: if there's a convention and they're willing to, accommodate for us to come and do videos and to interview people, and they're cool with that, and they're happy with us being there, we'd love to go everywhere. If that's where we're at. So I want to know where there's events, and I want to know what's going on, and we'll try our best to get there. Tin Lee YK for 2 says Nintendo's waiting for GTA 6. They will do $80 again. But then at that point, I could agree with that. That's some pretty good speculation. That's a very strong possibility of that. You're on to something. I think we will have to wait and see, but that is a very strong point. And you're right. They could use that to legitimize their $80 games. Problem is the Outer Worlds 2 just showed massive flaws in the $80 game plans. People don't want that shit. That's the problem. People don't want to spend that money on that stuff. See, changing your wizard hat for a cool cap worked. I guess it did on this one. Too handsome to wear the wizard hat. No, it's just, the lighting. I can't get the lighting right where I'm at. Okay. Let's see. I want to what else are you guys saying? I have an NUC i7 10th gen. It's a beautiful emulation machine. Is that let me know in the comments below. Is that the Asus NUC? Because I was looking at one of those. I was considering getting one of those so that I could do more videos on the go. I was considering getting that as a mini PC, but they're super expensive. So I need to do more research. It was just last night. It was a passing thought of oh, hey, I should really look into that. Hey, Wizard, what console do you have? I have all of them. I think I have all of them. I've got the PlayStation 5. I have the PS4. And also, none of these are plugged in right now. I know I have them. The last console that I played was PS5, though. Last console that I played is PS5. I have the 3DS, the Nintendo DS. I have all of the Nintendo consoles save for the Switch 2. And I have the Xbox 360 all the way through the Xbox One, Xbox Series. I have them all. I've just picked them all up over time. Yeah, I have all of the Nintendo consoles, not the Switch 2. Yeah, I have everything except for this, or almost everything save for the Switch 2. There's a handful that I don't have. Handful that I do not have. But okay, all right. So that's our 30-minute introduction. We've covered a lot of ground so far, but there is some stories to cover today, my friends. We've got to get into it. We're going to start off with an easy one. Welcome to Wizard vs. Everyone, including friends of the channel. We're going to fight with some friends of the channel today. Instead, let's pull this up. I haven't written a review here yet. I haven't written this review yet. Let's talk about this Wizards. Good God. Let's talk about this weapons film. Okay. Let's talk about weapons. All right. I got friends that are content creators out here. I've got, there are critics out here. There are other YouTubers out here. Everybody is glazing this film, you guys. Everybody's praising this film. I'm not, and I don't care for it. I've seen it. Weapons, for those of you who don't know, is this horror movie that's dropped. The guy's name is Zach Krieger. He's the same. It's from the same guy that did Barbarian. Okay, Barbarian. Oh my God, it did it again. Oh no. Oh, and we're back. What a piece of shit. Absolute embarrassing piece of shit. $2,000 camera, everybody. Piece of shit. So anyway, people are raving about this weapons movie, and I just want to say, it's not as good as everybody says. It's not as good as everybody is glazing it to be. There are other films that are out that have come out this year that are also horror movies that are better than this. All right. I would love to get into it fully, but it'll be a lot of spoilers. But I'll paint it this way. This movie has an act 1, act 2, act 3 progression. Act 1 is a beautiful setup. Act 1 is an amazing setup, just like Barbarian was. I thought Barbarian had an incredible act 1 setup. But this movie has the same problems as Barbarian. It has an incredible setup, and then act 2 is really boring. And then act 3 is a completely different movie that leaves you unsatisfied because of how excited you were with act 1. It's the exact same thing. It is the exact same shtick as Zach Krieger is a one-trick pony. I'll say that. I think he's a one-trick pony, and I think it's almost kind of pretentious it's almost like a mystery box set. Like, this is the first time I'm saying it because it's kind of hitting me for the first time. Zach Krieger's a mystery box movie maker. That's what it is. It's mystery box movie making. Now, those of you who know me know how much I hate mystery box television, but these movies are mystery box TV, mystery box movies. It's this incredible setup that has such elevated high level stakes, and you're sitting in the theater thinking, how are they going to pay this off? This is like where my mind is going on where this could potentially lead to. I'm impressed. I'm like, this is creative as all hell. Like, stick the landing. Do not hit me like you did with Barbarian. I did not like Barbarian. And so this Weapons film, I'm like, all right, I'm with it. Let's go. Where you take me on this journey, Zach, and the journey leads into a comedy. It's a freaking comedy at the end. This movie turns into a dark comedy in the final act. There's no payoff. Not like it was set up in act 1. Act 2 is boring. Act 2 is boring. And it's again a completely different movie. There are the way that this movie is designed is act 1 starts off as one type of film, and by the time we are in act 3, it's a different film. So everybody praising this and saying it's the best movie of the year, we saw different movies then. I still don't understand the hype around Barbarian. I don't think it was that good. That act 1 opening is masterful. It is masterful how they open that film, Barbarian. And then it just falls apart. It just falls apart by the end. And so Weapons, for me, I feel like I got robbed because of how this movie ends with a comedy. And then they were like, "Oh yeah, well it's supposed to be the stuffy Hollywood people. It's supposed to be a comedy because it's about Zach's his traumas, okay, when he was in the 4th grade and he got picked last for dodgeball. It's just make a damn good movie. Just make a good movie. Every horror movie now has to be about the director, writers, traumas when they were in the 5th grade. Nobody gives a shit. Just make a good movie. And it's like we experience things and then we can make movies, we could tell stories based off of our experiences. Absolutely, I would never take that away from anybody. But then for all of those to be big think, we're using our noggin or big brain to tell a story about how we feel about society. I don't give a shit about what you think about society. You're an idiot that makes movies and you play pretend for a living. That's it. You pretend to be somebody else every day of your life. I don't give a shit what you have to say about the world. I just don't. You're not living in the real world. You play pretend every day. That's it. I can't take you seriously. At least I could tell you I'm a fake wizard. I'm not a real wizard, everybody. I don't know if you didn't. I don't know if you knew this, but I'm not a real wizard. So any magic advice that I'm giving you, you probably shouldn't consider to be real magic advice because I'm not a real wizard. So when I see these actors, writers, directors who think that they can tell us what the real world is like, they don't exist in the real world. At least I can tell you I'm not a real wizard. There's a couple questions in here I want to pull up. Lost Monster Man says, "Have you seen the movie Together?" I did. I did see Together, and it's not bad. It's not bad. The movie, I wish we talk about Together, and I wish I didn't know the cultural aspects of that film, like the social agenda that was built into that film. And I don't mean agenda as in like a political agenda, but that film and how it has to do with uh, uh, specific types of relationships, right? I wish I didn't know that because I would love to just look at that movie for what it is and say it's a really creepy body horror film. It's just a body horror film. But then when I have to, because you've brought real world ideology into that film, it ruins it for me because I now have to look at this film from the lens of you made it to say something about the real world, and I don't agree with what you're saying. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. You're bringing in your real world philosophies and imprinting that on something that is a genuinely creepy body horror film, and it would have been better to just leave well enough alone. But see, that's my point on these stupid horror movies. Some of them are good. Some of them are creepy as heck. Like, some of them are worth talking about. Some of them are worth watching. Together is worth watching until you find out that it was inspired by a particular cohabitation pair bonding that is a toxic for people. And no, I don't give a shit. No, I don't care because I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear your philosophy on the world. I just want you to tell stories. I would have been more satisfied if the creatives there were just like, hey, yeah, we were inspired by some things, but then we're like, oh, well, that's what our movie's trying to say. Your movie is not changing minds. You're not changing hearts. You're not inspiring people to be better. Together, just like Weapons, it's just entertainment. These are not things that are going to drive you to change your life. That's not going to happen. You're not like, wow, I'm going to better myself after that one. Like, that's not happening here. So I'm sick of the pretentious crap. But yeah, thank you for pointing that out because it's the same situation. It's the same situation. No, but the magic advice. Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, I did want to. We'll just tying this up. Uh, Everybody that is glazing this movie right now, really, man, really, you guys. Oh, Weapons is really great. It completely drops the ball in the third act, and that's such a shame. It's such a shame because the performances are great. The performances in this movie they're great. The cinematography is great. This has some genuinely good horror in the beginning. And it's because it plays into one of the best types of horror, which is fear of the unknown. So the first act is wonderfully played out with fear of the unknown, but by the end, it's a damn comedy. It's a damn comedy. It's not, and it's not scary. And so everybody giving it 10 out of 10, ridiculous. Bullshit. Does not deserve the 10 out of 10. Is it worth seeing on Netflix? Yes. Only so. Yeah. In the same way, I watched Barbarian on HBO Max, like in like 2022 or something. 2023. Yes, this is I would say you got to watch it at home. It's worth watching, just not worth paying $20 or $30 for the theater experience, or $40 if you go with two people. No way, man. No way. Um, Random question, but did you like Expedition 33 Wizard? Yes, I did. I liked it very much. I listen to the soundtrack like almost every day. Like parts, like it's in my playlist for Expedition 33. I get some of that music all the time. Really great. Really great. Everything about that game is great. I look back on it and like every so often I'll come across a meme like Expedition 33. There's a lot of memes out there. Like the meme community around it is pretty good. And it's nice to find it's nice to find new perspectives on what characters were talking about and how characters were feeling. I really enjoy that. I really enjoy that game. That even though I've completed that game months ago, there's still more perspectives to pick up for that. And that's really special. Expedition 33 is a special type of game. Really good question. Wizard, did I recently read a story that Matcha is running low worldwide? Yes, it is running low. Acquisition for it is running low. It is becoming harder to acquire, which is where somebody like us, rwgolden.com, we have it, and we have a pretty reliable supply chain. So, yeah, we have it. And here's something else, and we could talk about this: is we have not raised our prices, even with like our clients. We are extraordinarily fair with our clients and with all of you and with our customers. We don't jack up our prices, even though it's like harder to acquire. We're not changing our business because of current economic conditions. You see what I mean? Wizard, how do you make your matcha? That's a really good question. So what I do is, so you gotta, I personally, I have one of those tea kettles that you can heat to a specific temperature. Okay. And so what you do is you get your water to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. You got to go 160 degrees Fahrenheit. It's just warm enough to combine and to combine with the matcha without destroying it. So something really special with matcha is it's delicate to heat. So you need heat to get it to mix with the water. But if you boil the water and you mix it with boiling water, that matcha is destroyed. It's going to smell bad. It's going to taste bitter. It's not going to be as good. You have to, it's 160 degrees is usually perfect. Well, for the RW Golden, our matcha, our ceremonial organic grade, you got to go 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. With one spoonful of our spoons is what I do. I think it's like 1.5 servings, but it's one spoon of the golden spoon, which you can see in our starter kits, and then oat milk, maple syrup. That's it. A little bit of maple syrup in there. You mix the matcha, a little bit of water, mix that up, 160 degrees Fahrenheit. You pour that in. Now you got an oat milk matcha latte. And the sweetener, you put a little bit of the organic maple syrup in. I get mine from Costco. Oh my gosh, that is delicious. That is incredible. That is such a good drink. It is a ridiculously good drink. And yeah, that and I'm not saying that just to say it. If it was it's hard for like anybody to say it, but or for people to believe it, but like when I worked in retail when I was a kid, you know, it was like, you know, you work in Staples, you work in Toys R Us, you work in Best Buy or something, and they tell you like, oh, you need to sell all this stuff. You need to sell through everything. You got to sell printers to people that don't need printers. You got to sell tech to people that don't need the tech. You got to sell the consoles and video games to people that don't know. I worked in all these different jobs when I was in college. And something that I would always do is be ridiculously honest about what to buy. And I did, and you never pressure anybody into sales, but you know why? Here's a sales tip. It's a life tip. Never force somebody into buying something that they don't want themselves. Ever, 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 ever. And this has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with matcha. This is just a life skill. This is a life lesson out there. Okay. I understand that people have jobs. You have jobs you have to sell. You have to do specific things. That's fine. When people come to you and they're not in it, they're not interested, don't force them to buy something that they don't actually want. If you can't make somebody want something through your own persuasion, through your own like selling of something, do not force them to buy it. Do you know why? They will instantly regret it and they will come after you. They will give you shit. They will make things more complicated for you. There could be like, let's say if you're a business owner, if you're like just starting in business or something and you're looking for clients, do not sell to somebody that you wouldn't be comfortable talking to them on the phone every single day for the rest of your life. If there are clients that will pay you a ton of money, but they will make your life a living hell. The money is never worth it. It's never worth it. It's never worth it. We're only work with people that are actually interested in you and what you sell and what you do and who you are, that trust you. Okay. Search for those people. It'll be harder to find them, but never sell something to somebody that you wouldn't actually use yourself ever, 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 because they will be your worst clients. They will be your worst nightmare in business. That's so serious. So serious. All right, let's remove that. Answering some of your questions, and then we'll get right back into there's a couple of really big ones, and we're attacking everybody today. This is an absolute wizard crash out. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us so far. We got a lot going on. Hold on here. We got a Matthew for 5. If you didn't know already, there is a RetroCon October 10, 11, 12 at the On Center. Now, I'm assuming that that's going on in Syracuse, so I will put that on the list, and we'll see about if we can go, and let's see where the world takes us, right? The world is constantly changing, but I appreciate that, Matthew. Thank you for the $5. We'll add it to the list. We'll see if we can get there. This is a question that popped up that I definitely wanted to pull up. I don't know if I know I've answered this already, but let's take a look. Wizard, have you played Expedition 33? Yes. I know you like turn-based games, and I just finished the game. Good God, it's one of my favorite games of all time. I hope you and everyone gets to experience it. I did finish it. I loved it. Expedition 33 is awesome. Thank you for that. I saved that one before I saw the follow-up question there. Wizard versus everyone. Wizard, can you show us your fighting hands? My fighting stance is like this, Put them up. It's just ridiculous. I do want a street fight with the Google algorithm, though. Wizard, what do you think about older games like GTA San Andreas having popular custom online servers? It's interesting to me, the validity, perhaps, that we find in older games, just like the one you've mentioned here. The validity that we find in people looking for the ROMs for old Nintendo games, in having attended 2 retro gaming events in the last couple weeks. Look at the prices on old games. The prices on old games continues to go up with age, but can you say that PlayStation 4 games are aging as gracefully? Are Xbox 360 games aging as gracefully? And I loved the Xbox 360 era. The answer is no. The only types of games from the 360, PS4, PS5 era that are aging and raising in value are ones that have been lost due to licensing. So, for instance, there's all of the Marvel games that were done with Activision through the Xbox 360 and the PS4, all the way through PS4. PS2 games, too. Like, those are increasing in value because those licenses ended and those games can't be accessed anymore. But old games, people still look for them, and there's still a lot of value there because they were really good. And newer games don't have that because of supply and demand, but also because nobody gives a shit. And even with the supply, nobody gives a shit. Like, nobody cares. New games do not hold their value like older games do because older games were really good. They were really special. And they can't recreate that as much as they'd like. Here we go. Really Big says, Sydney Sweeney makes me thirsty for milk. I wonder why that is. Huh? You're doing movies on the site now? To be clear, I have always had, well, not always, but for a long time, I have had a profile here on Criticless. Shout out to Criticless. Join me over here. I do put my movie reviews in from time to time, and I like anybody that wants to compete. So I'm happy that Blaine and the Criticless team are competing with Rotten Tomatoes. So absolutely, I'll support them there. Absolutely. Let me see. What will be the second $80 game to hit the market? Grand Theft Auto 6 is what I think. What do you think should be the expectation for beginner indie games? Well, that depends. That's a hard question. That's a hard question to answer, especially based on what I've spent so much of my last few weeks doing. So I've been working on the Fake Portal project, and that means I'm going through hundreds of games that you guys have recommended to me that should go into this directory. And it comes down to whatever types of games you like, there's usually a really strong indie game out there that will scratch that itch. Personally, guys, I don't like platformers, like side-scrolling platformers. I'm usually not good at them. I usually don't care for them. But going through all of these little indie games that are done, some of them by one person or three people, two people, I sit here saying, like, I'm going to play this game and I'm going to try to play it all the way to the end because it just looks that like exciting to me. So, what do you think should be the expectation for beginner indie games? I'd say start with the category of games that you already like. I'd say go in looking for games that you already enjoy playing that type of game. You'll find tons of them, especially in a couple of days when we go live with Fake Portal. I'll talk a little bit about that at the end. We are a little bit behind because I'm wearing a different hat today, which means I had to travel. We got some family stuff going on that displaced me while I'm taking care of my family. So I'm a little bit behind on where I'd like to be, but I promise you, we're working really damn hard on this stuff. Hey, Wizard, love your content. I am another business-minded person who is frustrated by the absolute nightmare that is game journo when reporting on gaming business. Yeah, the journalists are part of the problem. I often say that there are 5 people ruining entertainment, and journalists are absolutely one of them. You've got the writers at the bottom. You've got the journalists that try to gaslight you that everything's fine. You've got the influencers who try to gaslight you that it's worth your money and time. Then you've got the actual marketers who create all of the nonsense around it, and then they're in connection with the influencers and the journalists. And then at the top, you've got the executives. Those are your 5 people ruining entertainment today. And I'm going to talk about something now that I didn't realize I was going to talk about until you pointed this out, until you started me thinking about this process. And I probably shouldn't say this. A couple of hours ago, it's not even days. It was yesterday. So yesterday, I received a message from a company. It's a very big company. I received a message from a coordinator from a very large company asking me to be a sponsor. I don't have all of the details, but I'm seeking the details specifically so that I can report them back to you. But because I'm talking about it now, if that person does their homework and watches the content of the person that they're trying to get to advertise for them, they'd realize very quickly that I do not take corporate sponsors. I've been very vocal about that since I started this channel. And so this is a representative, a director of the marketing department for a very, very large company reaching out to me personally to get me to be a sponsor of their brand. Now, for me, I entertained it mostly because I want the rest of the details because I'm very curious. What does that look like? And I don't mean to offend anybody or say anything terrible, but you should have looked into me a little bit more before you reached out because you might have thought twice before reaching out to me because I don't take corporate sponsors. I don't sell out like that. I'm not interested in your money. You can't buy my voice. I can't be bought like that. There is no price tag that you can offer me because you wouldn't want to pay it anyway, even if I was to give you a number of give me $1 billion and then I'll put an affiliate link on my videos. Give me $1 billion and I'll put an affiliate link up. But see, I wouldn't take the money anyway because it wouldn't matter because money doesn't mean anything. And that wouldn't be right to do. It just wouldn't be the right thing. But I want to talk about this because people do the influencer game, people do the content creator game, and they'll take the first handshake that they can get their hands on. They'll take the first deal they get, the Raid Shadow Legends of it all. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm like that we're all squared away and we're all super well off. The fake portal project is racking up the bills, you guys. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. It's racking up the bills, but we're not going to take corporate dollars to fund that, and I'm not going to take any kind of sponsorship deal or affiliate link, affiliate marketing protocol where then I can't tell you honestly how I feel about things. I'm just not going to do it because if something is shit, I'm going to tell you that I think it is shit. And there are so many creators out here that if you talk to them privately, they'll tell you, "Oh yeah, what's happening over there is completely shit." If you talk to some journalists, they'll tell you what's happening over there is completely shit. It's completely terrible. It's anti-consumer. They'll tell you that when the cameras aren't rolling. I know this because I've had those conversations. Just within the last couple of weeks interviewing people, I've come across people who know how shitty everything is, but they are confined to the contracts that they signed that restrict them from being honest to you, with you. Um, and this happened yesterday in real time. And so I haven't said that, no, I'm, respectfully, no, thank you. Thank you for your time. It bugs the shit out of me. It's like, you're reaching out to me. Watch a video of mine. Do you think your boss is going to be cool with me covering you when I'm the most anti corporate guy here on YouTube? Watch a damn video before reaching out. Numbers aren't everything. Why do I get good numbers? Why do I have incredible views? Well, I'm not cheating the system. I'd like to think it's because I'm being honest, because I'm telling you what I really think. And that doesn't just, oh, yes, that doesn't just go away. Shit. You, it pisses me off a little bit. It does. It pisses me off a little bit. It's like, you sons of bitches. Like, if you listened to what I say, it's clear to me you don't watch my content. Like, it's clear as day you don't watch my fucking videos. So who do you think you are reaching out? And I get it. I understand what it is, but you think you'd watch a video of mine before asking to sponsor me. You really want me as a sponsor for your brand? Are you kidding? And I know, and see, here's the thing. Me saying that right now is something that all the other creators you watch wouldn't have the balls to say. Most of them wouldn't have the balls to say it. But I don't give a shit. I just don't care. Fuck it. Fuck it. Because all the other creators want that bag. Oh, they want that bag. So they'll sign their integrity away to the first person that offers it to them. But oh yeah, we'd like to sponsor you. You must not have a damn clue who I am. And one of the 48 laws of power, you guys, is to understand who you're talking to. You're supposed to figure out who you're speaking to, right? And understand who you're speaking to. I don't want your fucking money. I don't need your fucking money. Money, I think of, and I know I've been going on for a long time, and this is a very unique position to be in. I've been in the court. I've seen this shit with my own eyes, you guys. Is it nice to have money? Absolutely. It's nice to have money. Of course. Of course. That would be a terrible, stupid thing to say. Money is wonderful, but uh, it makes people into shitty people. I think of money in the same way I think of Lord of the Rings, The One Ring. It corrupts people. Money corrupts people. And I've watched it take people that um, were teetering on the edge, or maybe they were in the middle of knowing who they were, perhaps. And I've seen it. I've seen people that acquire large sums of money turn into evil people that I want nothing to do with. People that I had respect for, I've watched it destroy them. And money has no hold on me like that. It's kind of like it's like the Elon Musk thing. You know what I mean? Where he said, "Go fuck yourself, Bob." I'm just guys. I see there's a lot of comments that I totally missed because I was ranting, and I see my man Hypnotic is here. He's like, "We watch you because you're Asian," and I'm specifically wearing my Mecha Godzilla hat for you. Hell yeah, dude. Oh, shout out, man. Yeah. It's bad. It's like you're willing to say because I have to think about it this way. It's like, okay, well, if we're doing this fake portal thing, right? And we are doing the fake portal thing. What happens, is could this company, because this company reached out to me, right, saying, "Hey, we want to sponsor you. We want to give you sums of money to promote our stuff," and basically they would own all of my videos, more or less, based on what how the conversation was going. They would pretty much own like all of my videos. Not own them like the rights to them. It's just every one of my videos would be promoting this brand. And what I have to consider here is, well, would they, would there be a ground where I could get them to like boost fake portal, right? What if I could work with this massive global corporation to help send the fake portal into the stratosphere? Like that maybe that's a possibility. And then I have to roll that back and I have to really consider it's like, well, they would use it for nefarious means. So I definitely can't let that happen. I definitely can't let anybody touch that. That was the whole point of the way that we set it up, was to protect not only it but everybody else, and to keep it secure and free from that kind of corruption. So fuck it. We don't take corporate sponsors here. Not on this channel. Other channels will. Not here. If you are a marketing director for some kind of mega corporation, watch my fucking videos before reaching out to me, damn it. You would know you're wasting your time. But I really appreciate you do reaching out because it shows you don't watch my videos. It also lets me get a little more information so that eventually I can release that publicly and show what kind of fucking frauds you all are anyway. So please send your messages my way because I promise you I will post them all. Wizard verse everyone. Let's fucking go. That's guys. I need when we go live with Fake Portal, I'm gonna need you guys' help making this thing rock because we have to prove this. Like we can't let this fail. We have to fight back, man. We have to do something. Even if, and it's just like, oh well, what do we have to do? We have to play games. We just have to play different types of games. We got to play the games that are over here, you guys. Got to play these games instead. Not those. Don't play those games. Play these games instead. Why? Because we need to fund the competition in the market. That's what we have to do. We have to fund competition. We have to support smaller teams and smaller creators, and even and like figuring out who we should be putting on the platform has been kind of interesting because I do have a lot of leeway with these development teams. It's like there's a lot of games out there where we're looking at them and they've all been all the games have been recommended by you guys, and we look at them and it's like, well, this game has like 10,000 reviews. It's like, well, maybe we'll put that on the list, but we're not going to put it on the platform just yet. Maybe we should only pick the games that are a little different, that have less awareness. Like that's the whole point is to promote games that need the awareness or don't have enough of it, but also have been recommended by you guys. Okay. Let's talk about this. Wizard versus everyone. I'm going to do a transition and then pull this up. Where's my, here we go. Gina Carano, everybody, breaks silence on Disney lawsuit settlement with emotional statement. Coming to us from That Park Place, and my buddies over there, and my buddy Marvin Montanero. Okay, Gina Carano breaks silence on Disney. Let's just, guys, I'm not going to read this. I'm not going to read this article. Not that I have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with the article. I don't have a problem with Marvin. I don't have a problem with That Park Place. These people are my friends. But I will say to you, I don't give a shit. I just don't really care. I hope that Gina, who was wrongfully terminated for her role with The Mandalorian, I hope she's been made financially whole, and I hope that she won in whatever regard that is. This lawsuit settled out of court, which means that we, the public, are not going to get Discovery. We are not going to see Discovery come out. But here's the thing. I don't give a damn. I don't care. And that's kind of crazy to say. And that's not anything I have nothing negative to say about Gina at all. I happen to like Gina Carano very much. I liked her in The Mandalorian very much. But seeing everyone go bananas over this story, and they've been talking about it forever, and doing fan art, and bringing it up again and again and again, I don't care, because this doesn't. With my videos, I try my best to give you like, hey guys, things are happening in the world. Okay. Bad things are happening in the world. Okay. Here's what we can do with that information. Okay. Like there are things that happen in the world. Some of it's good, some of it's bad, but I try my best to impart some kind of a, hey, and here's what we can do with that. Here's what we do with this info. And I look at this Gina Carano thing, and all I see is fucking creators grifting on the story. And that's all it is this story is a giant grift. It's a giant grift. Most of you creators watching this, if you're watching this and you're covering this, most of you don't care. So That Park Place, they're covering it because it's news. That's their job. Good. Fine. But everybody else that has a YouTube channel and a microphone, what you say doesn't matter, because we're not going to change anything. There's nothing to be gained here. I'm glad we know. Like it's the kind of thing. I'm glad we've been notified. Thank you, Marvin and my friends. Thank you, team. Good work. But now it's over. Let's move on. And people are going to keep talking about this one. They're going to keep talking about it, mostly because everybody's butthurt that we didn't get Discovery. So most of the creators on here that are still talking about this, they don't care about Gina. They don't care about Disney. They don't care about you. They don't care about making a difference. What they care about is continuing this because they wanted the drama from it. Most of them are drama farmers. Everybody talking about this, most of them are doing it to farm the drama. Okay? So it's one thing when it's like, hey, we're covering the news. Here's what's happening in the world. That's good. We need to know what's happening in the world. Awesome. But then, like, I'm no journalist. I would never pretend to be. But I am going to take the news and try to find something that's actionable to give everybody, that's measurable to pass along, that we can actually do something with this information, you know? And the Gina Carano story, there's really nothing for us to do with it. So, bye bye. I hope you're happy. I hope she won. I hope she kicked their asses. And that's all we can say. And that's all we should say. So, Wizard versus everyone, to everybody that's still covering this damn story, move the hell on and find something new. I throw this hammer in my videos. I'm sick and tired of content creators that just want to bitch and moan but don't do anything. So I'll throw it out in my videos. I'll throw it out here on stream. Do something. Do something. Stop talking. Do something. If you've been blessed enough to build up an audience, if you've been blessed enough to gain the trust of even a handful of people, if you're a content creator, stop being a talking head on the news. There's a reason people stopped watching the news. It's because people don't care anymore. Most people don't care. They do not care. They don't want to hear, oh, well, here's so-and-so's take on the situation. What do you have to say? I don't like it at all. Oh, and here's what the next person has to say. I think it's great. No. That world is over, man. If you're a creator and you've gained the trust of any type of audience, I think you should be imparting actionable things, actionable ideas that everybody can better themselves on these topics, that everybody can start bettering their own lives. Take a little bit of action, perhaps, you know? But good Lord, there's all the freaking creators. It's like, we're going to keep talking about it. Let's just keep talking about it. Let's just keep talking. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. Here's something interesting. We have legal tubers working on other things like legislation to prevent these things to happen again, to stop these things from happening again. So many of you guys may not know, like, I kind of got my YouTube start hanging out with law tubers. Like, I played Dungeons and Dragons with law tubers. We had a great time. I've got a lot of friends that are in law tube. And I think what's really great about LawTube content is it's actually important knowledge that you pick up from them. Like, whether you like them or not, whether sometimes they'll debate with each other, and sometimes they debate over ideas, and it's just interesting to listen to because it's information that could help you out. There's knowledge to be picked up through there. And so that's why I kind of I have a fondness for LawTube. I also have a fondness for how they cover specific cases, and they bring all the idea, like when they do cover those cases. I don't know if there's any happening right now, but like I would love to get immersed with another court case because the way that LawTube handles the court cases is really fun. The last one that I really watched was the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. And that was an incredible experience because you learn so much about how the legal system in the United States works. And then we get commentary like my friend Ian Runkle, who's Canadian. So Runkle of the Bailey comes in. He's Canadian. He's bringing kind of insights from Canada and how Canadian law works in circumstances like this. And it's like there's knowledge to be learned listening to LawTube. So I do like that. But then you compare that to, Joe Schmo, who's making his 18th video on the Gina Carano case. You're not a lawyer. You're an idiot with a microphone. You have nothing to teach anybody, and you're not doing anything to make a difference in your life or anybody else's life. That's exhausting. That's exhausting. It's slow, right? Legal LawTube is slow right now, but Donna Adelson is coming up. Well, that might be interesting. The second Karen Reed trial just finished a little bit ago. Yeah, I missed that. And I couldn't even get into that one. Shame you didn't watch Karen Reed with EDB and recaps with Ian. I totally missed that because I've just been so busy with at that time. But I would love, because I have to travel so much now, I would love to pick up a new one I would love to pick up a new one, and whenever it happens. Ooh, I'll send you the details about Dawn. It involves a murder for hire. I would like that one, so I may have to jump in on that. Anyway, all right. So this one is stupid. Shout out to Gina. Great. I like you. I hope you won because Disney sucks and Lucasfilm sucks. I hope you kicked their asses and you got ever. I hope you're happy. That's all I can wish. And that's it. If there's anything else that people could say on that, there shouldn't really be, unless something else happens, which nothing else will. That's kind of it with that topic. We shouldn't be talking about that one. But I do have another one. Let's talk games. Let's talk some games. Let's break in. Let's talk some games. Okay. Chat, do we have any Battlefield players? Any of you guys a fan of Battlefield out there? I played Battlefield 3 and 4 not very well. I was not really I wasn't good at them. And but I would like to play them again. I would like to play them with friends. And now that I've got some friends here on the YouTube, I'm hoping to play this this new game when it comes out. Haven't played the beta. I'm not interested in playing the beta. I would like to play it though when it comes out. But if we look here, and this is a really important discussion here. If we look here, Battlefield 6, this is the open beta, which is happening today. I think it ends today. Right. And we do see that there is an anti-cheat built in. Not good. Oh, it's the EA anti-cheat. But if we look at these numbers, holy crap, you guys. 521,000 players on Steam, all-time peak. That's a lot of people. And so it's worth discussing this. It's worth looking at this topic. Because, well, what is Battlefield competing with? Battlefield is competing with Call of Duty. And it's also competing kind of with Fortnite. And it's competing with any other shooter. It's competing with Concord, or Concord was supposed to be. It's competing with Marathon and what Marathon was supposed to be, right? We're living in an age where it's like really come down to the FPS shooters of the day. And so when we look at Battlefield 6 here, which I want to look at, I'll look at it in a minute from the corporate angle, but the FPS game of the moment, right? And we're going moment to moment on what's winning. It's really just like the big deal. It's part of the zeitgeist. So having over 500,000 people playing the beta is extremely telling for what this game could do and the kind of numbers that this game could see. And remember, we're looking right here. This is just Steam alone. There's also the EA player that is native to, which will never get the numbers for that. And there's also the consoles. The consoles are probably seeing numbers similar to this. So we're looking at the potential of about 1 million plus people experiencing the open beta that happened this weekend for Battlefield 6. This is the competition that we want, okay? And whether you like EA or not, obviously they're a shitty company. They do some really terrible things. But this, assuming that the game is good, as most people are reporting, this open beta is really great. What we can gather from this is that if the game comes out and the game is just as good, then that means there's a potential we're going to see real competition in the shooter space. We're going to see real competition with Call of Duty. We're going to see real competition with Fortnite, even if just for a little while, which is healthy for the gaming industry. We need competition. And so even if it's EA for a little bit, fine, let's shake things up. Let's shake things up in a way that's not entirely Marathon, in a way that's not Concord, okay? Marathon looks like shit. Nobody wants Marathon. Even the critics didn't like Marathon when it went through its beta. Okay. If we look at Concord, nobody wanted Concord. Both of those projects are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't know what Battlefield 6 is worth, but we need high quality games to compete in the marketplace. That's what we need. So if this is good, and I probably won't get it on day one, mostly because I just don't have the time. But I do hope to get this because I hope it's really worthwhile. You know, I'm hoping that this is worth our time. It's worth our investment. And really just to kick the shit out of Microsoft and Activision, because I think Call of Duty is garbage. I just think it's garbage. I think it's a garbage game. There's no reason for that game to be as big of an installation as it is. I mean, the last time when I last played Call of Duty, it was 86 gigabytes to install on your computer, and that is disgusting. It was more no. It was 86 gigabytes to install Warzone, because it was like way more than that to install the entire game. I never had the whole game. I just played the Warzone with some friends for like a day, and then I deleted the game. But if we look at this, this is pulling numbers, and that is very interesting considering Battlefield did not do very well with the last few games they released. I think the last one that people actually liked was Battlefield 1. But if we look, Battlefield 5. Yeah, see, that's a little low. Comparatively. Battlefield 1. Was this the last? No, this is the one that didn't do well, right? No, this is the one that people liked. Yeah. This was the last. I think this was the last one to do well. But why are these numbers low? It must have released on something else. It must have released on something else. I would say I didn't. Yeah, Steam didn't launch on Steam. That's it. It must have launched on something else to have such low numbers. But I don't remember because like I said, the last one that I played, the last Battlefield game that I took seriously was Battlefield 3, and then I dabbled on the campaign of Battlefield 4, and then I stopped playing it. Like I didn't even play Battlefield 4 that much. The last game I played like for real was Battlefield 3, which was back when Skyrim came out. Melkor Storm Crown says, Wizard, where is your magic hat? I'm trying. You see how the lighting is terrible here because my battery light just died. Because we're the most professional stream, my battery light just died. You see, I'm like very dark now. I can't wear the Wizard hat because it's too dark. Because I'm traveling, because I'm not in Wizard HQ today. Yes, this Battlefield story is very interesting. We're gonna keep watching it, and we'll talk about it some more. I hope it's worthwhile, and I hope it does well. If it's worthwhile, if not, oh well. Yes, all of the professionalism today, all of it. Well, we have one big story we're gonna get into. This is the big one. Because it's Wizard versus everyone today. What we're going to talk about next is a continuation on the credit card conversation that we've been discussing over the last couple of weeks. Now, there has been a lot of news, and I'm not really going to talk about the news. I'm not really interested in that this time. Of course, we saw the Trump administration put out that executive order that about debanking. We did see that where the credit card companies cannot debank you in the United States. And now they can, but there's very specific protocols against it now. You can't debank somebody based on reputation and things like that. Right. Okay. We also know that there's a lot of other moving pieces there that people aren't talking about. And I am not educated enough to really get into those nitty gritty things. For instance, after just dabbling in it yesterday, there's a lot of discussions on firearms as part of this discussion. There's a lot of gambling and casinos involved. There's mobile gambling, which is also part of this conversation. There's a lot of these other facets of the economy of business in the United States that this executive order was more so about than just gaming, which is very much news to me. So while I will say, and I have said, and I will continue to say, is gamers became alerted to this situation about 4 or 5 weeks ago now, when it hit us right in the wallets. It hit gamers in the wallets, and then gamers became activated to this. And I believe that's when the story begins for us, at least, with one, there is a catalyst moment where now it's important for gamers to be paying attention, because censorship has been going on in other facets of the world over time. But I don't know everything about those other facets. All I know is about the games here. And so censorship is a big deal. Censorship is a big problem, and it is a big deal. But what I want to look at is somebody's call for censorship. So I'm gonna bring up a series of tweets here, or a tweet that's got some photos attached to it from one of my pals, Smash JT, who has a email newsletter coming to us from an ideological organization that is calling for censorship. Now, in previous streams, when I've discussed this, I really haven't talked about collective shout, as a lot of people have. A lot of creators are talking about collective shout, and they have every reason to. Of course, they're the ones behind the flexing of leveraging credit card companies to censor games, to censor entertainment. But I haven't talked about them. I haven't spoken about them much because I really haven't had much to say until now. So let's go ahead and bring this up. So I'm going to pull this up here, and let me zoom in a bit. And so this from Smash JT. This came to us yesterday. It says, breaking, shared with me via anonymous tip email. Collective Shout has been caught sending out emails labeling anyone daring to question their authoritarian approach as, quote, enemies. That doesn't sound like something a, quote, victim would say. All right. So before I'm going to bring these up. What's interesting with Collective Shout is their ideology is stemmed in this idea that by removing, and of course I'm trying to summarize what their ideals are. They believe that by removing pornography, removing harm in any way that you define the word harm against women from the internet, by removing all this content from the internet, you will reduce that, again, harm, as defined by however they define it, against women. They will remove that harm against women from the world. And that by censoring this content, by removing it entirely, that is going to make people not search for it. It's going to reduce the demand for it. It's going to reduce the interest in these things. It is going to make the world a safer place. But I want to talk about, before I even pull up, because we're going to read these letters together. Do you know why that is a flawed argument? And it's interesting for people like this who, at some points in their discussion, they do have religious roots in their arguments, right? The problem is that you take away the ability of choice. Choice is important. The ability to make your own choices, to choose for yourself who you are and what you value, what you believe in, the values that you absolutely would live your life by, should be chosen by the individual. Now, that doesn't mean it should be a free for all and we should be free to do anything. Like, of course, there are rules and protections in place to protect people, but that's the laws, right? That's the laws we live by. I live in the United States. I hate my government. I hate all of the United States government. I do not trust politicians. And yet, I will say I'd rather have the American laws than any other country's laws, personally. I feel very secure and safe in my country, which is something a lot of people can't say. But I hate my government, to be clear. But you still need laws. But even with your laws, you still have the ability to make your own moral decisions that define who you are. And so when we look at what Collective Shout is doing and what they have done, they believe that by seizing the choices from you, you won't become morally corrupted, which is wrong. That is not true. That does not solve the problem. In fact, it elevates the problem because now you put morality into the hands of people who don't know right from wrong. They don't actually have to discuss that moral compass with themselves. They don't have to consider these ideas and consider where they stand and come face to face with sometimes darkness and be able to look at the darkness and not become corrupted yourself. It's a psychological thing, and all human beings have to deal with this. All human beings have to go through school and be educated on right from wrong, but then you have to come face to face with that yourself on what would you be willing to do. Would you be willing to do terrible things? Do you have a moral compass? Are you capable of empathy? Are you capable of doing terrible things? And then choosing yes or no for a lot of those things. Most people have to do that. Defines who you are. But now we see things here and we see what Collective Shout is doing. And let's go ahead and read through. Now they've come under fire from YouTubers and content creators and detractors who are saying that censorship is wrong. Censorship is wrong. Very good point. And not everyone's moral compasses line up 100%. That is absolutely correct. It is absolutely correct. Check your DMs later, brother. Yeah, I think I have a few on here, but I can't open them now because we're streaming. But I will definitely check them at some point. Here we go. We cannot let our enemies win. Dear so-and-so, over the last 2 weeks, we have been subjected to the largest coordinated cyber attack in Collective Shout's 15-year history. Our team has been hit with a daily barrage of vile abuse and harassment. We have been bombarded with grape and death threats. Our images have been morphed into pornography. We've been doxxed. Haters have circulated our photos and tried to find our home addresses. Let's just start off with this second paragraph here. If these people are experiencing this, I got to make myself a little bit larger on screen here. If these people are experiencing death threats, if these people are experiencing harassment, if these people are experiencing the whole concept of their pictures being turned into pornography, please show us who these people are that are doing that. Please prove it. And I'm not saying that like it's not happening. I'm not trying to discredit anybody or say anything like that. Please show us who the monsters are that are hiding underneath your bed or trying to track you down. Please show us who they are so that we can all hold them accountable. Death threats are never okay. Assault threats are never okay. Please show us the people that are attacking you. I do. When people threaten me, I post it online. I post the entire message. Only sometimes do I restrict the information of who it is, but I show you when people send me nasty emails. I show it to you. I make fun of it. I will mock that shit on the internet. I will mock that shit up and down all day on stream. I think it is hysterical. It's terrible. And I understand to one respect, you don't want to challenge these psychotic sons of bitches. You don't want to challenge motherfuckers that are threatening to kill you because some of them might actually take you up on that challenge. But fuck you. That's really what I have to say to that. Fuck you. You piece of shit. You is that what you get off to, is getting on the internet and telling people that you're going to kill them? Fuck you, degenerate asshole. And there's a few of them that I've dealt with, but I'm not scared of them. We should be putting their heads on spikes. So, Collective Shout, if you are truly receiving this, show us. You don't deserve that. We may differ in ideas, but something that I'm willing to do, and I'm hoping that many of my YouTube colleagues are willing to do, is not be okay with harassment like that. I am not okay with it ever, 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 ever. let's continue. And then here we go. Protect the movement. A big red button. 10 petitions were launched against us, full of false accusations. Elon Musk retweeted one of them. There are currently hundreds of YouTube videos slandering us. Prove it. Please prove it. I'm feeling compelled to talk about something else here and kind of take this. I had intended on taking this conversation one way, but after I completely forgot about how much they say, like, we're being harassed and we're getting the death threats, and I feel extremely particular about that whole thing. Anybody who puts out death threats, you should be, your head should go on a spike in Minecraft. Yeah. In whatever video game. Fuck those people. Lose my train of thought. 10 petitions were launched against us full of false accusations. Elon Musk retweeted one of them. There are currently hundreds of videos slandering us. Okay, here's the thing with free speech. People are allowed to disagree with you. I disagree with you, collective shout out, on your ideologies. I disagree on your theories on the world. I disagree with you on your practice of what you would do to make your visions of the world become a reality. I disagree with you on that. I don't agree with censorship and your form of censorship, because it's a power struggle where you will just take up more power and not relinquish it. But here you make the claim that 10 petitions were launched against us. Okay. Elon Musk retweeted one of them. There are hundreds of YouTube videos. Okay. When people challenge your ideas, you have a choice. And that choice is to either go low and bellyache about it, or go high and overcome it. Now, what does that really mean? It means that, well, I've experienced this myself. People give me shit all the time in my videos. I get hate comments all the time. I get videos made mocking me and making fun of me. There are content creators that have much larger audiences than I am who have tried to I can't say cancel because they haven't called for cancellation, but they have tried to discredit me. They have every right to do so, but I have a choice. Do I fight them on that little level? Do I get into petty squabbles about that, especially when it's talking about ideology? Or do I stop fighting with words and just fight with actions instead, and just be the best version that I can be to uphold the beliefs that I promote? And so that's what I do personally. There are people who attack me in their videos. They try to say that my ideas are wrong, or they would like to challenge my thoughts. Okay, by all means, they should do that if they disagree with me. I disagree with you, collective shout. And I'm talking about it, and we're going to go through your entire email here where you're asking for money, and I think it's grifting. That's the point I'm going to get to. Spoilers, but we're going to go through and discuss it. If you're upset with me, this is not a harassment stream. I'm not here to harass you. I'm not harassing anybody. But you should just try to be the best versions of you that you can be. You know, that's the solution. Actions over words. Making a hate video saying, "Oh, the real life fake wizard made a video about us and we really hate him for that. We look at how terrible he is." You know, that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't accomplish anything. I think action is better than anything. And if you think, especially in a company like this, where they believe that they're morally virtuous, they're morally better than everybody else, the best thing you could do is be better than everybody else and like live better than everybody else, right? And that's obviously relative to the person at hand here or what they're trying to do, but you just go high the whole time. And spoilers, they don't do that. They're grifting. That's why we're reviewing this. But yeah, there are hundreds of YouTube videos slandering us. Prove it. Prove it. Fight back. post the quotes and then your responses. Post the quotes and your responses. It's like, hey, people are saying this about us. It's incorrect. This is what we actually believe. This is what we mean. And you could do that if you wanted to. I think that's a little bit going low myself. I think that's going low. And I think you just go high and you just uh promote positive things. Here I am. Here I am trying to help you guys out. Like, that's what I'm thinking of. I'm trying to help you guys out. And that's so stupid because I don't agree with anything you do. Protect the movement. Let's go widescreen here. Protect the movement. Our enemies are trying to destroy our operating systems. Prove it. Prove it. That's a massive claim. Our enemies are trying to destroy our operating systems. That is a massive claim. They've gone after our global allies, charitable partners, ambassadors, and other backers. They've tried to get social media platforms to shut us down. Those are huge claims. Those are massive claims. Those are massive, massive, massive claims. Prove it. You have to prove that. You have to. If that's really happening, again, you should be trying to prove it because that would be wrong. That would be a wrong thing to do. They should not be doing that. But battling ideas, if you're afraid to discuss ideas, if you're afraid to discuss your ideas because you feel challenged and that is an intimidating thing for you, you've already lost the argument. And so everything here, like, all of this needs to be proven. You got to back it up. But it's okay because they don't need to back it up. But we won't let them. Your tax deductible gift today will protect the movement. And then look at this, everybody. You want to give them $20, $50, $100, $250, $1,000? We're going to donate to this group. Our opponents will stop at nothing to bring us down. They've made that very clear. That's why we need your help right now to protect our movement, a movement on track for its biggest year of victories ever, including this one. Our enemies are trying to destroy our. Let's just review enemies here. Our enemies are trying to destroy our operating systems. So the term enemies implies that we're in a war, right? We're in a battle. But it also implies that there needs to be winners and losers, right? You don't just have enemies unless there's a decisive victory, which is what you want. You want a decisive victory. And this is not this also isn't backing up your ideas, right? This is like, we're under attack. These terrible people over there. And the fact that you're not defining who they are, you're not proving who they are, it could just be a story. And but the term enemies should be eye-opening. That is like eyebrow raising. Like, oh, who's fighting? You're the one that drew first blood. Collective Shout fired the first gun. Metaphorically, of course. They didn't fire a real gun. But this is it's a battle of ideas and semantics. When you're discussing ideas, it's not right to be thinking of people as enemies. You're battling with ideas. I disagree with people all the time. I'll give you, for instance, Words of Paradise. I disagree with quite a bit, and we argue quite a bit. But I don't. Leon's not my enemy. We'll just argue over Nintendo shit from time to time. That's fine. We don't have to agree on everything, but we could still be cordial and respectful. And well, unless we're really like making fun of each other or something like that. But it's cool. We don't have to have all the same ideas, but considering people as being enemies is dangerous. It's a dangerous mindset, and that is not good for everybody collectively as a whole. So I wanted to talk about this because I am concerned that using rhetoric like this moves us into a territory where this shit doesn't end. It just keeps going. Because when you have winners and losers, you have losers who aren't happy that they lost. And that's not good. That's not good. So yeah, collective shout is absolutely using terrible, terrible polarizing rhetoric in order to grift on their audience. And we could see here your tax deductible gift will help us protect our cyber systems from malicious attacks. Prove that that's happening. Do you have any evidence that you'd like to show us that this is happening? It will help keep our online spaces free of women haters and trolls. How? How does my donation do that? Can you show us any kind of demonstration proving how that happens? Or your what online spaces? Please, can you show us your online spaces? What does that look like? Help us collate beliefs of evidence for briefs, collate briefs of evidence for police, e-safety, and our lawyers. Well, I mean, you don't need money for that. If you Okay, I'm going to challenge your shit now. I got to challenge you there. Okay, help us collate briefs of evidence for police, e-safety, and our lawyers. Um, Collecting data can be done on your time, and this is like, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, fuck you. I hate people that are like, oh, well, we need to pay us to collect our data. You're sent out the email. If you're making all these claims, you should already know what all of that data is. You should already have those briefs of data. What do you mean you need your viewers to pay you to do what you already should have done before you sent the email? Who do you think you are? Wait, like what the shit, you know? Oh, well, we need to hire people to go and do that for. No, if you care that much, ladies, you can do it yourself. You do it yourself on your own time. If you care that much about doing this, and it's not just about power, and it's not just about money, and you actually believe in what you're doing, then you can do it. You can do it on your own time for free. Okay. The first point on here, help us protect our cyber systems from malicious attacks. I want to see proof of that. All right. Because most of these sites, they've already got Cloudflare built into their site. I know, because when you go on their site, you get hit with the Cloudflare. They've got a lot of those things already in place, which means they're already paid for, which means they're likely fixed costs. So they're already paid for. So you don't need more money to do this. You don't need more money to prevent those malicious attacks. You've already got that stuff in place. You don't need more money for that. Okay, help us keep our online spaces free of women haters and trolls. How? How are you going to do that? We need examples of how to do that. Help us collate briefs of evidence. You should already have that if you're asking for money. Number 4, help us uphold our freedoms and rights to continue speaking out. What the fuck does that mean? Number 4 here, help us uphold our freedoms and rights to continue speaking out. How does giving you money hold up your freedoms and rights? Isn't that dictated by the country you're in? How does giving you money change that at all right now? It doesn't. You're full of crap. And number 5 here, send a message that we will not be defeated. That's also not provable, and we could dissect that a little bit more, but it's kind of ridiculous. This whole thing is ridiculous, and it makes me upset that Melinda and the Collective Shout team think that it's okay to grift when it like, because this is such a, you know if you look at something like Nintendo provides a service and a product that you can buy. And so, because I'm a Nintendo customer, and I bought the Switch 1, and I've played years of Nintendo games with my own money acquiring said games, right? I have every right as a customer to complain about Nintendo and choose to not spend my money on that stuff. Okay? Because it's my money that funds that company. Okay. Then we talk like politics, right? And I'm not talking politics now, but if you may feel one way about one party and you might feel one way about another party, and you have every right to do that because that's part of the country that you're in, and these are the political parties at hand. Maybe there are other parties and you have different points of view on other parties. Well, that's because those parties and the decisions they make, if they hold power, directly impact how you live your life and what happens to you in your life. That's also a debatable sentence, but that's more or less you have the ability to have ideas on that because it impacts your country and your life. This is an ideological charity. They don't provide fuck all for the world. They don't do fuck all for anybody. And maybe they have, but if they have, you should be leading with that and not hate spewed rhetoric that's going to divide more people. It's the information, the way that it's presented in a, and yes, this is a marketing email, and yes, it's just a shitty newsletter. But talking like this doesn't bridge a gap for peace. It doesn't make people feel more open-minded to what you have to say. You don't provide the world anything. And if you do, you haven't proved it. You haven't shown us what you've actually done. You petition companies to do your bidding. Like, that's the most you do. You're an advocacy group. You don't do shit. This isn't like some kind of this isn't some cancer organization. This isn't some, hey, a charity that's actually going to make a difference for people. They're not actually funding, like illnesses and stuff like that. Maybe they do like women's and protect women, and like maybe they have shelters and things. I have no idea. If they do, God bless them. I hope they do. They do something with all of that money. But this is just another charity organization. And in a world where people already don't trust charity organizations because they've gotten their hands caught in the cookie jar one too many times, that we don't trust them. A lot of people don't trust charity organizations. They're not all altruistic like you like to believe they are. Many of them are dirty. Many of them have people that are just friggin' dirty. And that sucks. It sucks that the trust has been broken with charities because we want to believe that they're doing good things, but it's just not true that all of them are 100% whole. So it was worth talking about, mostly because I don't like. I think somebody said it in chat. I think I saw it pop up. It's like that Captain America quote. It's like, I don't like bullies. We can have different ideas, and we should be able to discuss those ideas, and we should be able to argue those ideas. But here we have a group that is trying to strong arm credit card companies into instituting censorship and gaining lots of power in the process and gaining lots of money in the process, and then having a stranglehold on the way that the free world does its own business. And I don't like anybody telling me how to run my business. And that's not to say I endorse the things that they want to take down, the types of content that they want to remove. If I looked at them, most of it, I would agree. I don't like that type of content myself. But fuck you if you think that you deserve to tell me what I can and can't do, or what anybody else can and can't do. Melinda, who the fuck do you think you are, telling people how they can and can't live their lives? That's where I stand on that. So anyway, it's a big topic, and there's a lot going on. Good question here, though. 8-4. Will the new Trump executive order stop or at least slow this censorship madness? It's a pawn move on a chessboard. That's the best way to think about it. It is a singular pawn move on a very large chessboard. I don't really have the answer to it. But also, that executive order wasn't just for video games. That was for firearms and gambling and online gambling and casinos. Like, there's a lot of things in play that are impacted by that executive order. It wasn't for gamers like gamers are being told to believe by content creators. Trump didn't just swoop in, and Trump didn't just swoop in and like, oh, the gamers are under attack. They're taking Gooner games. Executive order. Like it wasn't there. It wasn't there. It wasn't there for that. But this is a big topic. I think we're just going to keep talking about this. And we'll see where it goes, man. We will see where it goes. Coming in, Matthew here became a YouTube member. Welcome to the membership. We got a couple members today. Or no, actually, you're the first member of the day. Awesome. 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 And with that, my friends, I think we're going to end up having to wrap things up here. So what we're going to do, let me see who is live, because we are going on 2 hours. We've been doing the 2 hours. Our streams are getting a little bit longer. So here's what I want to say as we tie things up. I am excited. We're having a great week. Is Kirsha live? Can I actually raid Kirsha this week? I don't think I can. I cannot raid Kirsha. I've tried. She does not have it active where you can raid her stream. We have a lot going on, everybody. The fake portal is going to be coming live very soon. Please be ready to go and check that out when we go live. We're going to need your help. We got to fight the Google algorithm to get that thing cranking on SEO. We're doing our utmost to make sure it's ready, and we're only a couple days away. The Discord server is going to be the first to get access to it. You could join the Discord by visiting wizardsanctuary.com. That is your quickest way to join the Discord. And that's where I'm also going to be interacting with everybody about making changes to the site. So if you want to have a voice in what happens on Fake Portal, we want to hear from you there. If you want to support Fake Portal, go to rwgolden.com, pick up some matcha. It is the best way to fund this operation. We are taking funds from any of the Wizard Brew products, and that is going right back into a very large percentage of that is going right back into making sure Fake Portal is operational. Otherwise, we're going to keep funding it ourselves, but it's getting expensive, you guys. It is getting expensive quick. It's getting expensive quick. There's a lot going on there. A lot to do, and a lot to be done. We've got another video. I got Long Island Retro Gaming Expo video coming out later this week. I have a lot of work to do on that. I don't have an ETA on when that video is coming. And we will be we should be, fingers crossed, we should be at Colossal Con in Round Rock, Texas this upcoming, Friday, Saturday? I think Saturday. So let's see. We can raid heel versus babyface, I guess. It's a shame. Is there no one else live right now? Who else is there's no one else live? There's gotta be somebody else streaming. Stick around for the raid. Let's see. Who else is streaming right now? There's gotta be somebody else that we know. Because it's not giving me any options for who else is live. Let's see. I see heel versus babyface. X-Ray Girl. And how about let's see. Yeah, how about X-Ray Girl? It's not an option. Oh, yeah, right here. All right, we're going to raid X-Ray Girl's channel. Everybody jump over, say Wizard Raid. Thank you guys for hanging out, and I will see you real soon. Until next time, create, innovate, inspire, and for the love of God, cancel Disney Plus. All right, take care.